Eric Trump's wife, Laura, is now the co-chair of the Republican Party, and she's endorsed violence. Since the verdict, Lara Trump, co-chair of the Republican Party, has officially endorsed violence, much like the recently installed chief operating officer of the RNC, the Trump loyalist Chris LaCivita. Lara Trump, just like Chris LaCivita, she lashed out at Republican candidate for Senate, Maryland's Larry Hogan. You might remember on the last show, I talked about how Larry Hogan, who served as governor of Maryland and is now running for the Senate as a principled conservative Republican, after the verdict, Hogan tweeted urging Americans to respect the verdict. This is the tweet. Regardless of the result, I urge all Americans to respect the verdict and the legal process. At this dangerously divided moment in our history, all leaders, regardless of party, must not pour fuel on the fire with more toxic partisanship. We must reaffirm what has made this nation great, the rule of law. Seems reasonable, doesn't it? Well, after he posted that tweet, the newly installed chief operating officer of the RNC and Trump loyalist, Chris LaCivita, tweeted back to Larry Hogan, "Your campaign is dead." This is one of the heads of the RNC telling Larry Hogan, a Republican candidate for Senate, "Your campaign is now dead." It's the job of the RNC to get Larry Hogan elected to the Senate, but because he didn't show sufficient loyalty, he was called a dead man walking by the chief operating officer of the RNC. Do you see why they're going to lose in November? They feast upon themselves. Lara Trump, Eric Trump's wife, is co-chair of the RNC, and she appeared on CNN on Sunday, and she was asked what she thought of Republican Senate candidate Larry Hogan's tweet.
Does the Republican National Committee support Larry Hogan for Senate?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I don't support what he just said there. I think it's ridiculous. And I think anybody who's not speaking up in the face of really something that should never again have seen the light of day, a trial that would never have been brought against any other person aside from Donald Trump.
But does the RNC support his bid?
The respect of anyone. Well,
he doesn't deserve the respect of anyone?
He doesn't deserve the respect of anyone in the Republican Party at this point. And quite frankly, anybody in America, if that's the way you feel, that's very upsetting to hear that.
So are you willing to cede the Senate seat in Maryland to the Democratic Party and not support Larry Hogan?
What I'll tell you is that we, of course, want to win as a party, but that is a shame. And I think he should have thought long and hard before he said that publicly.
Are you willing to use Republican Party resources to support his bid or not? It sounds like you're saying you're not.
Well, I'll get back to you on all the specifics monetarily, but what I can tell you is that as the Republican Party co-chair, I think he should never have said something like that. I think that's ridiculous.
Are you prepared to use Republican Party resources, money, on Larry Hogan's Senate bid? And Lara Trump is saying, no, I'm prepared to use all Republican Party money on paying my father-in-law's legal bills and squirreling away some cash for his divorce settlement with Melania. That's why she's there. You see why they're going to lose? You know, what you're seeing now within the Republican Party is this is how they govern. This is how they govern themselves. This is the House Republicans feeding off one another, and you're supposed to support Larry Hogan, and they're turning on him because he said don't pour gasoline on the fire. How do you win elections when you install your daughter-in-law, who's an idiot? Anybody who marries Eric Trump is an idiot. How do you win elections when Lara Trump is the co-chair of the Republican Party, when another Trump loyalist is the chief operating officer, and you silence and then turn on any Republican who literally says, respect our legal system, don't pour fuel on the fire. Lara Trump wants fuel poured on the fire. This race for the Republicans, because of Donald Trump, it's not about America. The Republican Party is about Donald Trump now. It's not about any other candidate besides Donald Trump. This race is no longer about winning the Senate, keeping the House. This race, all hands on deck for Donald Trump. And this is why they're going to lose in November. They're going to lose the House, and Democrats are going to keep the Senate.
It's time right now for the David Feldman Show.